Patrick McNeil back here with you at the intermission as we continue our spotlight on local hockey. We now go to the Cape Breton High School Hockey League as we hear from head coach Jimmy Smith of the Riverview Ravens. Jimmy, how different was this year to start with COVID? Did you have any issues with camp, and did that make life a bit more challenging?
It did in some cases, but we were so happy to get started that masks and the social distancing and the numbers and everything, it's all worth the sacrifice, and to be safe, number one. It's nice to get going and just good to be at the rink and playing.
Did you have less people at camp? Were there any issues in that respect, or was it pretty much the same as usual?
A little different with the protocol, with the social distancing, and so many in some room and so many in other rooms. That was different. But when the numbers increased to 50, then it got pretty well back to normal.
Of course, the big news regarding your team is the new name, the Riverview Ravens. How strange has that been? Have people got used to that? And I guess the look is somewhat the same.
It's okay. With the COVID thing and all the changes, all of them issues, we really haven't been paying much attention to the name change, to be honest. Some of the boys took it upon themselves. They're quite excited about ordering some new Ravens stuff and sweaters and tracksuits. And they're pretty happy with it overall.
Good to hear. What has it been like in terms of spectators? Have you had people in the stands watching the games?
I think we're allowed 200. I think a couple of parents per player. The other team is allowed a couple of parents per player. And there's designated seating. It's okay. Just the fact everybody has a mask on and there's social distancing practice and people are getting to watch the game. I find there's more people at the rink, actually, than before.
This is a Riverview team that is traditionally very strong in the league. It looks like you're off to a good start this year. Who are some of the key players on this edition of the Ravens?
Our goaltending has to be a pleasant surprise. Young Hinchy and Devin, they've been playing really well. Hinchy's a nice surprise. He came from the Ontario Hockey League from last year, and we didn't know really what to expect, but he's really a battler. Played really well the weekend against Glace Bay. Just outshot maybe 2-3 to 1, I think it's in some cases, and just stood on his head and got us a couple of W's. And just the veteran guys, we were very fortunate to get Kobe McCarron back this year from Major Midget. He's a real good player. And some of the veteran returnees like Sam McKinnon and Bryce McKenzie and Curtis Novak, and there's some good leaders on the team. And then we got a nice crop of rookies that we got this year that committed midget double. We got a good group, and we're off to a pretty good start, and hopefully we keep on building on it.
We talked before hitting record that there seems to be a little bit more parity in the league this year. You're saying it's pretty competitive. Is this a case where any of the four teams can beat any other on any given night?
We've had a loss. We lost to Sydney Academy, and they're a much improved hockey club. They got some good veterans back, and they got some good rookies there. They got a nice goalie in McGillivray. They're not to be taken lightly. North Sydney has a real nice team. They got a couple of players off of the rush. They got lots of veteran returnees, and they got a real nice goalie in Marsh, I think, come out of midget minor, I believe.
Right.
And he's a real nice player. So the parity's right there, and Glace Bay's always strong. Every game is interesting, and every game's been close so far.
Fans may remember Andrew Marsh was actually sitting on the bench for the Bathurst T10, backing up recently at center 200.
And Mike McMullen come down from Antigonish and back the Eagles up. Nice to see the locals getting, even if it's an opportunity to be there and be involved.
Even getting into the warm-up, getting some shots is nice to see. One of the big stories this year in the high school league is there's no tournaments, and Red Cup has obviously been established, probably is the most popular one in Cape Breton. Has that affected the mood of the players in any respect, or does it make these games in the regular season even more important because the guys don't have the tournaments to look forward to?
Like I said before, just the fact that we're playing in these times with the COVID stuff and everything, we're just appreciative to be playing. We know that there's going to be a play down in the provincials, so we will have a provincials. We'll have a regional playoff against the Northern Zone, and then we move on to the winner of the Metro Division. There's still a provincials to play for, and there's a league title to play for, and every game is very important. You have to win these things to keep continuing on. Overall, we're appreciative to be playing, and we're not looking at the fact there's no tournaments. We're just looking at the fact that we got hockey. I believe that we're fortunate enough to have our league going, and the people that are running it are doing a great job. Mike Kerrigan and his committee that run the league, and they're doing a lot of good things. We're very appreciative of the fact that we're playing.
No doubt about that. You said it was a tighter league with more parity, but you find yourself tied at the top of the league. Surely this is a team you think can win the league this season, and do you have a gauge of how good you'd be in the rest of the province?
You know, Patrick, we're just taking it a little bit at a time, seeing how we go. We just played everybody a couple of times, and everything has been tight, so it's interesting. Every game is important, and then we're going to have a playoffs. If we end up in a good spot during the regular season, we'll get the number 4 seed, and then we'll see where we go from there. And then you can't lose, and then you move on to your zone play. I believe we'll play the northern zone. I believe that'd be Antigonish, Pictou, and Truro and that, and then we play the winner of the Metro League after that.
Well, we look forward to seeing it play out throughout the year. Best of luck, Jimmy, with the Ravens, and thanks for doing this.
I appreciate it, Patrick. Thanks for the opportunity.
That's Jimmy Smith. He's the head coach of the Riverview Ravens high school hockey team. You're listening to the intermission of McDonald Ottawa of Cape Breton Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.